I think we can start off with some inward presence.
Yeah.
So you can just let yourself come into your space even more. What if you really knew that there is no other time? There is no other place. You could just fully be here, right in this moment. That really nothing has happened before this. So you can just be here now. Letting yourself inwardly take Holy Spirit's hand. And knowing deeply that you are loved. This love is without border, without limit. It knows no beginning or end. It is your eternal nature. And it's given to you right now. In this moment. Always.
Can start to come back. To our Zoom room here. It's very powerful if we can experience the present moment the way Barret guided into in the meditation. But perhaps that's not always the case. I was just thinking of how each and every one has lived a day here today and coming in, for some of you it's more maybe morning or midday. Some of us it's later, and we all come in with different experiences. It's like a collection of thoughts and experiences coming together. perceptions, different perceptions of ourselves and the world, different things we are dealing with or working through in the mind. Everyone has a different set of beliefs and experiences. But Jesus says in the Course that you always ask, who am I? In everything. The only question ever asked is, who am I? And maybe we still keep finding what we're not. Maybe there is a lot of self-doubt or doubt about how to spend the day even, or things you feel to do or things you doubt doing. In all this is, who am I? There can even be self-concepts there that want to be seen, or it takes a lot of space and attention. Like, I'm not good enough, or I'm better than, or I'm good at this or that, or even I hate myself, or whatever self-talk might be going on. All this is self-concept. And really, there is only one place to put this, and it's in the garbage. It's not true.
Don't even put it in the recycling. Straight in the trash.
Definitely not in the recycling. That's been done enough. Recycled beliefs, even through giving birth to other bodies. Stuff is recycled. Beliefs are repeated. Patterns are repeated. Fears are repeated. Errors are definitely repeated over and over in this world until we put the brakes on to that spinning wheel. Say, wait a minute, I need to know who I am, truly. Don't need the ego to answer who I am. What if the ego doesn't answer when you ask, who am I? And what if you first actually make yourself aware that this is what you do? With every question you ask, or every thing you think you need to do, there is that question underneath, who am I? And what if we stop letting the ego answer it with our own plans or our own ideas of what we are, what we should be like? What if we make some space? It doesn't matter where we come from. It doesn't matter what problems we have. It doesn't matter what kind of self-image we have. It doesn't matter. Spirit can work with anything, with all of it. And all of us are equally worthy of the answer. It can be a good exercise as we go through our day to be aware that we are always asking, who am I? And instead of answering with an emotion or a belief, just to give space instead. Jesus says in the Course that in stillness are all questions answered. Peace comes to a still mind. And it can be a moment of stillness. You don't have to think that you have to sit and meditate all day long. You can do that too, if that works for you. You can feel the spirit and go deep, but you can also invite this peace just in one moment. It just takes one moment of willingness for it to enter. And it happens in joining like this, it's a group, or joining in your mind with whoever comes to your mind. In this joining, in this forgiveness, you make room for the spirit. So how are you feeling? Does anyone feel you want to explore something?
Yeah, I had some doubt thoughts about joining you here because I feel some shame. And yeah, I feel a lot of shame actually about, I was living in the community for 3.5 years in total, and I was asked to leave. It's not that I didn't recognize why. My mind kept saying no for a few months, just no. I wasn't really sure what the no was about. But all of a sudden, it just came a strong no's in my mind. And I did recognize that I didn't use the tools that I had been given. And eventually, I was asked to leave 10 days before Christmas, I think. And it's been really hard. It's a lot of shame in this, and I feel ashamed of myself. It's like a pattern I have to give up. I was like, last May, I had a diagnosis of cancer in my throat. So I've been in hospital all summer being treated for it. It was very aggressive, and I really needed a lot of care after I came back from hospital to community. And I got lazy, I think. It was like I was using it not to practice, or using my tools. And also, I have a pattern of leaving things, giving up. And I was told whenever that pattern was so strong, I should ask for help. And I think that was the no's that I was told, by Jesus to ask for help. And I refused. And that was that, basically. And knowing that that has never happened before in that community, that anyone has been asked to leave, it feels awful, really. Yeah, I'm kind of ashamed of myself, and I feel like a failure. And I think most of all, it's like I ruined my chances to, as you spoke of before, that you need to really go towards things. And it's not the same when you're in your comfort zone. I don't get the same opportunities here for healing where I'm at now. So yeah, it feels like a loss, basically. Yeah.
I just want to support you and see if you can allow yourself to think that perhaps you haven't made a mistake. Because it feels like you're torturing yourself.
Yeah, as you were sharing, I felt almost the opposite of what you were saying. That it could be that these no's in you were Holy Spirit saying no. That it was time for a change for you.
Really. I haven't seen it that way. Thank you.
Yeah. Feels like your work now is to let go of this heavy guilt you've been laying on yourself. And to really think about, like Jenny said, that you haven't done anything wrong here.
It feels like I gave up on myself. That's how I feel. But in another way, I haven't, because I still practice and I use the tools and where I'm at now. And yeah, I feel so connected. I feel Spirit so present with me, comforting, and in deep stillness, still sometimes. And I'm so grateful for that I haven't been abandoned, really. So I'm so grateful for that, and for Jesus, and for their presence with me. That I really need to go through these beliefs in failure that I carried with me all my life.
Yeah. You know, I quoted the other day to the group about the role of the accuser. And it's from the self-concept section, self-concept versus self in the course. And there's a line there where he states, the role of the accuser will take many forms, and it will seem to be accusing you, but have no fear, it will go away at last.
That's also a pattern that I have, not to ask for help. So yeah, at the same time, I'm quite curious as well. So
Beautiful.
I feel
Yeah.
where this is going to take me and
Yeah.
what Spirit has for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sometimes failures are actually your greatest next steps. You know, what we can conclude as failure often isn't. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for the 3.5 years. Anyhow, yeah. And I'm still prayer partner with one or the other in the community. So yeah, I feel I have the support. So thank you.
Yeah, I keep getting the image of a hermit crab. A hermit crab finds a shell to stay in, but at a certain point, the crab gets too big and it needs to leave that shell. And eventually it goes and finds another bigger shell that it can go into. But you wouldn't judge a hermit crab when it gets to a place where it doesn't fit in the shell it's in anymore. It's just part of the growth process. So I just see that here for you. There's a very non-judgmental way for you to see this whole part of the journey that you're on.
Thank you. It's really helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's beautiful having you here with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I joined in.
Yeah. It's harshness. We can become way too harsh against ourselves inwardly. And just to share, we have a lot going on in the community here. We have a lot of energy, a lot of healing, communication, and things coming up and things healing and new friends coming soon. And yeah, retreat coming up soon, and the house will be full for the retreat, which feels beautiful. And yeah, but there is still opportunity if anybody else want to come for the retreat. We can make room. Feels like Spirit has some big plans for Despierta al Amor, our new foundation.
I was walking, maybe it was yesterday, and just right there in the middle of the road was this huge praying mantis. I don't think I mentioned that to you.
No, I didn't.
And it might have been the same one that we had hang on our curtain.
No, she died.
Oh, okay. Maybe it must have been a different one. But a very large praying mantis and just so peaceful, just restful. I really got that message of prayer very deeply. I feel like that's with us.
Yeah. It's like a vibe of prayer. It's not like you always have to sit in prayer, because it is like a vibe of prayer, like a being in prayer. I always love the experience of being the prayer. Like, you are the prayer. And today on our walk, the sheep came. There was like hundreds of sheep and little lambs, and they were like, yeah, it was when we talked to Sue. They were just there with us. They were just so sweet.
Yeah, I could feel the vibe because they were all grazing kind of further down the hill. And then all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know, 50 of them came
At
up,
least, I
up
think it
right,
was 100.
right by us.
Yeah, it was at least 100.
It was a lot of sheep.
Yeah, and it's like a collaboration, like the farmer and the sheep and the dogs, because the farmer had some language, he calls on the sheep, and then they run to him, because they were on a huge area. There's those very big orchards here, olive orchards. It's not like they're inside some fence. They're out there, and he just calls some words or some song almost, and then they run. And sometimes the dog, because I wanted to take some pictures of the lambs, and the dog was kind of far away, but he was so attentive, and he started barking a little bit when I walked closer to the lambs. So he was like doing his part to let the sheep know that I was there, like, so they were all in communication. It's just beautiful. I love the symbol of, the countryside, and so soft and gentle here. Sheep and goats and dogs.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah, and his cat is kissing the screen. Cats want to be part of this.
She loves your voice.
Oh,
She's always loved your voice. It's so cute. Yeah.
what's her name?
Her name is Mittens.
Mittens, yeah, you told us that.
Yeah. Yeah. She
Love you
definitely
too.
loves. Yeah. Want to say hi? There you go. May I share a little story about Mittens?
Yeah.
So we had been fostering cats, like just keeping them until someone adopts them or whatever. And we've had about 4 or 5 cats so far. And then comes Mittens. And she, every time I'm meditating or praying, she's just all over my lap. Every time there's a Course in Miracles meeting or whatever, she's all over my phone. She just really wants to be a part of this. So we adopted her. I was like, no, I prayed on it or whatever and made sure that, I wasn't just getting attached to her or whatever. And it's just like, she wants to be a part of this. So keep her. So we did. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Wants to be like Lulu. Yeah. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, that's a beautiful note to end on.
Yeah.
Cat story.
Yeah. So have a great rest of your day and evening, everyone. Love you very much.
Yeah. We're always together.